Hello and welcome to Designer Discussions with Jason, Maria, and Miriam. Today we are talking about the top 10 marketing questions.
Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast with
Jason,
Miriam,
and Maria, where we talk about marketing, PR, and business advice for design professionals. So we are super excited to announce that the marketing studio is open. We are providing simple and easy to use resources to help keep your marketing, PR, and client communication the best that it can be. Go to designerdiscussions.com/marketing studio to get started. So we're always excited to have Jason's input on what interior designers and the kitchen and bath industry is asking about marketing and how can they market their business. So we're going to go over those top 10 questions today, and I hope we can give you some information that you've been looking for. So number one, Jason, who is my target market?
this is often asked, and I start with knowing who your ideal client is and your target market. Refer back to the marketing studio because we have an outline there that helps you iron out who your ideal client is, and that helps you define your target market. As designers and remodelers, when we first open up our practice, we like to work with anybody because we need the money. But we learn that with certain individuals or certain homeowners or end users better than others. And it's not always around higher end or more money. It's around personality. It could be around fit. But understanding who your target market is ideal because that helps you create messaging that resonates with them. So refer back to our marketing studio where we have the outline of how to create your ideal client, and that's going to help you define who your target market is.
So number two, Jason, how am I supposed to reach my target market?
Again, so that heads back to understanding who they are. And with the last answer, I just answered a little bit of this. Once you understand who your ideal client is, now you're able to create messaging that resonates with them. So for instance, if your audience is the baby boomers as opposed to millennials, you're going to write different for that audience than you would for the millennial audience. So you're going to have terminology that will resonate with the baby boomers that may not resonate with millennials. And that messaging, when it's out there in the marketplace, when the baby boomers read it, they'll know it's for them. Whereas with the Gen Xers, Gen Ys, or millennials, when they read it, they'll be like, this is not for me. So by understanding that ideal target audience, you're able to write messaging that resonates with them, and you're able to get and reach your ideal target market.
Number three, how can I convince customers to buy my product or my services?
Convince is a strong word, and I would say the answer of the last one by actually having messaging that resonates with them. You don't want to convince anybody, because if you try to convince somebody, they're going to have a sense that they've been sold to, and they're more likely to ask for a refund. Like, this is not what I really wanted to do. But if you create messaging that resonates with your ideal client, and you branded yourself the right way, and you done marketing the right way, where you put out into the marketplace, testimonials from happy clients that you've had, you actually have good projects out there. So when they come to you and they research you, because 9 times out of 10, most end users, before they even talk with you on the phone or email you, they have done research on you. Once they've done that research and they've seen what you have out there with the projects that you had, if they like that, if they hear the testimonials, if the messaging resonates with them, it's less likely that you have to sell them or convince them to buy from you. It's about them understanding what you offer or what your offer is. And if it resonates with them, and if you are the best designer or remodeling for their project, and if they're hearing that and you're resonating with them, you don't have to convince them. They'll already be sold.
Who are my competitors?
That's a good question. And a lot of designer and remodelers don't really know who their true competitors are. they may believe that the remodeler down the street is their competitor or the designer around the corner is their competitor. That may not be the case. What you need to do is a little research. Easily, you can just look at their website, look at their social media channel, look at some of the marketing that they're putting out there, see who their ideal client is, who they're responding to, who is actually engaging with them. That'll help understand, okay, is that the type of client that I serve as well? And by doing that research, you will find who are your true competitors and what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. So you can do a gap analysis. Where are they not filling in the gaps that you offer and how you can differentiate yourselves from others out there that are your true competitors. And that's how you can understand by doing that research and understanding the designers in your locale and who they serve will help you define who your true competitors are.
How do customers perceive my brand?
That is vital. And what you need to do is make sure that you've done your own due diligence to understand from your end user or your customer's side how they view your brand. Quick exercise that you can do is ask some of your current clients, how do they view you? Why did they buy from you? They're going to help you understand, okay, this is how it's viewed from the end user standpoint. You want to also ask questions to your audience in, the social media universe. Ask them, okay, how do you view us? What are the good things you like about us, the bad things you like about us? Ask questions. If you have an email newsletter, same thing. Ask those type of questions, and they're going to give you insight on how the end user views you. And that should in turn help you develop your brand the right way around your ideal client. Remember, going back to the exercise that we asked you to do that's in the marketing studio of who your ideal client avatar is, and then having that information from your current clients or prospects or past clients will help you develop the messaging to develop your brand the right way.
And Jason, how can I make my business more visible online?
That's a good question too, that I'm off ask. And one of the ways is going back, and you're going to hear this a lot. Understanding your ideal client is going to be the answer to a lot of these questions. But by understanding who your ideal client is, now you can reverse engineer who they are, because if you look at where they are on social media or through email or wherever they are, now you're starting to understand where they are. So you're starting to understand, are they on social media? And if so, which platform are they on? Are they on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn? If they're looking at your email. So that helps you to understand, okay, where they are. If you understand your ideal client, you can reverse engineer and see where they are. And now you know which platforms you need to market on to be visible to your ideal client.
And how are customers finding my business?
One of the ways that you need to understand, and if you have not listened to the episode we had on analytics, listen to that episode, because one of the things a lot of designers and remodelers are not doing enough of is analyzing their own marketing efforts. What is happening right now is Google is moving over to GA4, moving away from Google Analytics Universal to GA4, and that's how you analyze all of your marketing efforts. Whether you're doing email marketing, social media, SEO, PPC, whatever it is, you need to analyze it to see what is working, what is not. Where is the end user clicking on ads or clicking on to find you? That helps you determine how they are finding you and where you need to put your marketing dollars.
And why are customers visiting my website but not purchasing my products or services?
Ultimately, is because your messaging is not right. And that goes back to what I said. And like I said, you're going to hear a lot of this. Identifying who your ideal client is. Once you know who your ideal client is, now the messaging can be made to relate to that ideal client. And then you can change a lot of your website copy. You could change your email. You could change your social media copy. That will help your end user know that they're in the right place. Oftentimes when we hear clients say like our ads aren't working, when we reverse engineer and look at it, is when we look at the copy, we see it's not actually made for, or it was not created for their ideal client. And once we change it, oftentimes their click-through rate goes up. If you do that same exercise with your website copy, with the content you have on your website, if it's resonating with your ideal client, you're more likely to have your end user understand and buy from you because they feel the copy is resonating with them. So understanding your ideal client is the key.
And how do I create an effective marketing plan?
Creating an effective marketing plan starts with knowing who your ideal client is, like I'll say. And also, we have a few episodes here. We did an episode at the start of 2022 and the start of 2023 from the marketing and PR standpoint on how to create an effective plan. I would say re-listen to those episodes because I won't go over a lot of that. Miriam and I went into depth into how to create the plan in those 2 episodes.
We did. Yeah, that's a good one. So Jason, the last question is, what should I do next?
First, if you haven't already, go to the marketing studio so you can get the free download on understanding and determining who your ideal client is. Because if you do not know who your ideal client is, like we like to say in the marketing world, if you market to everybody, you're actually marketing to no one. So to get your marketing right, you need to understand your ideal client. So get that free download on the marketing studio to understand who your ideal client is. From that, listen to episode 24 and 76. Those are the episodes Miriam and I did on developing a marketing plan for 2022 and 2023. And we'll also have those episodes in the show notes. We had through an exercise to help you define for the year, and we're going to do this next year as well, to help you define for the year how you need to have your marketing laid out. And we also get into budgeting. So knowing your number, because once you know your number, so where you want to be at the end of the year. So if you want to hit $1 million at the end of this year, now you can reverse engineer that. You divide 1 million divided by 12. So that's how much you need to make every month. And then now you can say, okay, how do I hit that number every month so I can hit my number at the end of the year? And we get into this exercise in those 2 episodes that I talked about. So refer back to these episodes. If you haven't noticed a trend, we're having you listen to some of these episodes where we talked about a lot of this information that is in the Designer Discussions archive, and also on the marketing studio to help you develop a marketing plan of action, a marketing and PR plan of action.
Awesome. Jason, thank you so much for answering the top 10 questions about marketing from designers and remodelers. This was it for today from Designer Discussions. We hope to see you here in 2 weeks.
So we are super excited to announce that the Marketing Studio is open. We are providing simple and easy to use resources to help keep your marketing, PR, and client communication the best that it can be. Go to designerdiscussions.com/marketing studio to get started. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions and all of the helpful information. Subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We look forward to having you back next week. For more information on the podcast and the Marketing Studio, visit designerdiscussions.com and follow us on social media.